To keep their jobs, politicians must raise huge sums for campaigns every election season, and then they pay back their top contributors with special access and favorable laws. This corrupt practice is legal and pervasive throughout Congress and state legislatures, affecting what legislation is introduced, what issues are considered, and what becomes law. I co-founded Maplight to use database technology to provide unprecedented insight into our broken government and how to fix it. Maplight aims to create a transparent democracy where lawmakers work for the people they were elected to represent, not just for their large campaign donors. To accomplish this, we educate citizens about who influences government and how they do it. Our current system thrives on darkness. Maplight shines light on this legalized corruption so citizens can see how our broken system operates and intervene to make it better. Maplight also gives power to groups that hold government accountable. Journalists, advocacy groups, and citizen leaders all have used Maplight's data to call out corruption and make change. We're fast and we're comprehensive. We get the latest findings about money's impact on politics to citizens across the country more quickly, comprehensively, and efficiently than was ever before possible. Before Maplight, uncovering patterns of influence could require weeks of research on thousands of data points for a single bill, and meanwhile citizens were in the dark and money's influence on votes went unchecked. Now with Maplight, we offer one central resource for anyone to access this crucial data, including reporters stretched thin by the decline of the news business and small organizations who wouldn't otherwise have the resources to conduct this research. By offering unprecedented access to influence data, Maplight has created the potential for citizens to hold lawmakers accountable with more depth and immediacy than ever before possible. We've supplied the data behind victories on issues ranging from copyright policy to foreclosure reform, helping citizens arouse public anger, gain media attention, and make change. And as Maplight makes issue-specific campaigns more effective, we're focusing the outrage of citizen changemakers on the fundamental problem of our broken system of campaign finance and building political will to tackle this issue beyond just the existing reform community. Maplight tracks how many people see, hear, or read our findings. We call this audience reach. We want to make money in politics a #1 kitchen table issue in every household, so the more people who read and distribute our findings, the better job we're doing. But Maplight's ultimate success metric is how useful our research is to the cause of democratic change. We evaluate the impact of our data in real time by tracking the number of stories we generate, the number of public policies we affect, and the public debates that we influence. Many people don't know that Maplight's more than just a website or a collection of online tools. We're a skilled team of researchers and developers available to help anyone who contacts us and wants to investigate how money and influence are affecting society, and we provide that help free of charge. We respond to many custom data requests each week from reporters, activists, and citizens. Maplight's influence findings have reached hundreds of millions of people through thousands of stories in the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, CNN, and hundreds more. We've built transparency websites covering U.S. Congress, Wisconsin, and California, and launched powerful projects to shine a light on election spending. For example, our Voters Edge project makes it simple for voters to find the information they need to navigate the deluge of expensive ads influencing ballot measures so citizens can vote in their own interests. Voter's Edge started as one prototype guide, and we scaled it rapidly to cover 25 states and cities, and we're still growing. Maplight has earned a James Madison Freedom of Information Award, a Knight Batten Award for Innovations in Journalism, and many other awards. But Maplight's most significant accomplishment is that again and again, we have helped hold government accountable. Even though there's widespread cynicism about politicians and special interests, citizens tend to mobilize around fixing individual issues instead of our underlying corrupt political system. Money in politics can feel like an abstract problem. Maplight is overcoming this obstacle to reform by showing how these individual issues, the environment, healthcare, tax policy, are integrally connected to our broken system of how politicians fund their election campaigns. Maplight's research shows that the problems that matter most to us all have their root in the system, so that the only way to ensure progress is to work together to get money out of politics. Maplight's current database contains many more stories than we have the capacity to uncover right now. With additional resources to expand our staff, we could publish and distribute exponentially more findings that could all be leveraged to advance reform. We're especially interested in hiring a researcher dedicated to the impact of money in politics on the environment, because industry influence continues to block solutions on climate change and other life and death issues, and citizens can't afford to wait anymore. The Maplight database has proven to be an effective tool for government accountability, but whole areas of the influence machine still operate comfortably in darkness. In the future, we'd like to shine light and root out corruption beyond our broken campaign finance system by incorporating additional data sets, like lobbying expenses, personal financial disclosures of politicians, government contracts and grants, committee votes, and more. With every data set that we add, the number of connections and the value of the database as a source increases exponentially.